Yep, it's me, Mr. B, Shades of Clarity channel. I'm back in action to fight the good fight. So, let me tell you what happened here. About a month ago, I had a health scare with something that had the potential to be pretty serious, but turned out that it's not so serious. And for that, I'm grateful. But at the time, I just became overwhelmed with fear, and you know where that leads. And I was in that headspace where it wasn't good, and I was just on the verge of that cliff. And I had some Antabuse that and I'll explain what that is, that I had on hand that I just put off taking. And I hadn't returned to the meetings like I had planned to do after the last time. So I ended up going to a place in Raleigh, North Carolina, for 7 days of detox, and met some really cool people there. It's a different scene than down in Wilmington. It's not a 28-day program, or detox leading into a 28-day program. It's not that. It's just a simple detox, and they have mental health part of it. It's 4 different units, and 2 of the units are combined, so you can go to the meetings at either unit. But this sort of leads into the topic. And what is Antabuse? Well, Antabuse is basically aversion therapy. It's a medication that's given that will cause a pretty damn nasty reaction if you've taken it for several days and then decide to drink on it. So what is disulfuram? That's the actual chemical. Well, it was formulated, I want to say, back in the 50s. May have been the 40s, I have to check on that. But what it does is it blocks enzymes in your liver from being able to break down alcohol into, the stages of breaking down alcohol in the liver go from the alcohol to acetaldehyde to CO2, and then to water, and then it's excreted. So at the point where it's at the acetaldehyde part of the metabolic process, it's blocked. So when you take a drink, the acetaldehyde starts to rise, and it's basically formaldehyde in your veins. And the more you drink, the more acetaldehyde you're going to have in your system, and it leads to some pretty damn unpleasant symptoms. Racing heart, your head turns like the color of a tomato. You turn super red, you sweat, you vomit, you wish you were dead. I mean, I've never had a reaction on Antabuse. I've taken it before. I recommend it, but you have to tread lightly with it. I mean, it's just not something you can go into without speaking with your healthcare professional. And again, I'm not a licensed healthcare professional. If you have any questions about anything like Antabuse, substance abuse, alcohol use disorder, anything of that nature, make sure you discuss that with your primary care provider, or if you're in a really bad state, please go to the hospital. So I didn't end up going to the hospital. I just didn't do anything. I was just drank for about 11 days and got to a state where it was gonna be probably a pretty gnarly withdrawal, and I did not want to have to experience that. I mean, I haven't been into the true DT, but I don't want to, and I sure as hell don't plan on it. And I think that this is going to be the last lap for me. I'm just too weary and too tired, and I don't want to be locked up in some rehab anymore. There was one woman there in the detox that had been to a certain treatment center that I've been to that said she was there 111 days. It's more than 3 months. And I just can't imagine being, especially at the end stage of the game, you know, before you're discharged, at the partial hospitalization program, part of the program. Ooh, I like that alliteration. But I digress. But you know, it's an intense end of the stage of the treatment part, and I can't imagine doing that over and over and over for 111 days. I mean, it wasn't all that, but she probably did 90 days of that over and over again, and I can't even fathom it. I wouldn't. If I absolutely had to do it in order to stay alive, stay sober, I would do it. But if not, I would pretty much rather avoid it. And I think that you would feel the same way. But back to the Antabuse, it's not for everybody. I have had success with it in the past, so I was put on it in this particular facility, and I'm going to remain on it. And I thought about possibly stopping the channel because of these relapses, but then I thought, you know, I still would like my experiences to be of some value and to help other people, you know, just through my experience, strength, and hope. And I'm quoting from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, even though that this is a no program zone. It's whatever you want it to be. You know, I do prefer AA, as I've talked about in my other videos, but it's not for everybody. With that said, what does the future hold for Mr. B? Well, he's going to try to walk the straight and narrow, for damn sure, and try to, you know, make as many meetings as I can. As they say, meetings makers make it. Meeting makers make it. Yeah, got it right that time. And have fun and really get out there and live. You know, instead of just holding up, you know, when I get some bad news and decide to take a drink. Just not, I don't want it to be that way. I don't want it to be that way anymore. Like I said, I'm just too tired and weary of it. And I'm thinking about, you know, changing jobs. Just I'm gonna go get on the job search and start hunting and kind of get away from the retail thing, try to get into the journalism thing full time somewhere, relocate maybe. Just do anything to get away from where I am. This whole area, I've just had enough of it. I think it's is a major factor, contributing factor to unhappiness and, you know, relapses. But you guys be good. Like, I'm going to be as good as I can be. And as always, take it easy. Stay tuned, and I'll see you later.